Do you have joy in your Christian walk? When I say joy, I know we oftentimes get confused or we oftentimes associate or collapse the two phrases joy and happiness. I want to read the definition of joy and then I want to read verses from the book of Psalms, and I want you to be blessed and showered with the truth of God's word concerning joy. And at the end, I want to ask you a question. Let's look at the definition of joy. Here we have the Webster's 1828 dictionary definition. Joy, to shout, to rejoice, or to leap. This word belongs to the class, and its radical sense is probably to shout, or to leap, or to play, or sport, and aligned perhaps to joke and juggle. The passion or emotion excited by the acquisition or expectation of good, that excitement of pleasurable feelings which is caused by success, good fortune, the gratification of desire or some good possessed, or by a radical prospect of possessing what we love or desire, gladness, exaltation, exhilaration of spirits. One of the words that stuck out to me for the word joy was to juggle. This idea of being excited about the things of the Lord, having this exuberant spirit and refreshment of demeanor, being able to see the things before you and possess them for the glory of God, to laugh, to be excited, to be refreshed by the things of the Lord. Now, let me read to you some verses from the book of Psalms that specifically focus in on the word joy. And at the end, I want to ask you a question. So here I've typed in the word joy into my Logos, and it pulls up the word 35 times. And this is in the King James translation. And I want to read several of these verses to you. Psalm 5, verse 11. But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. Psalm 16:11. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. Psalm 21:1. The king shall joy in thy strength, O Lord, and in thy salvation how greatly shall he rejoice. Psalm 27, verse 6. And now shall mine head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. Therefore I will offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto the Lord. Psalm 30, verse 5. For his anger endureth but for a moment. In his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Psalm 32, verse 11. Be glad in the Lord, and rejoice, ye righteous, and shout for joy, all ye that are upright in heart. Psalm 35, verse 9. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. Psalm 35, verse 27. Let them shout for joy, and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yea, let them say continually, let the Lord be magnified, which hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. Psalm 42, verse 4. When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me. For I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of God, with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day. Psalm 43, verse 4. Then will I go unto the altar of God, unto God my exceeding joy. Yea, upon the harp will I praise thee, O God, my God. Psalm 48, verse 2. Beautiful for situation. The joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, on the sides of the north, the city of the great King. Psalm 51, verse 8. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Psalm 51, verse 12. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Psalm 63, verse 5. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise thee with joyful lips. Psalm 65, verse 13. The pastures are clothed with flocks. The valleys also are covered over with corn. They shout for joy. They also sing. Psalm 66, verse 1. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Psalm 67, verse 4. O let the nations be glad and sing for joy, for thou shalt judge the people righteously and govern the nations among the earth. Selah. Psalm 81, verse 1. Sing aloud unto God our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the God of Jacob. Psalm 89, verse 15, blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Lord, in the light of thy countenance. Psalm 95, verse 1, O come, let us sing unto the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Psalm 95, verse 2, let us come before his presence with thanksgiving and make a joyful noise unto him with psalms. Psalm 96, verse 12, let the field be joyful and all that is therein. Then shall all the trees of the wood rejoice. Psalm 98, verse 4, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the earth. Make a loud noise and rejoice and sing praise. Psalm 98, verse 6, Psalm 98, verse 6, with trumpets and a sound of cornet, make a joyful noise before the Lord the King. Psalm 98, verse 8, let the fields clap their hands, let the hills be joyful together. Psalm 100, verse 1, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Psalm 105, verse 43, and he brought forth his people with joy, and his chosen with gladness. Psalm 113, verse 9, he maketh the barren woman to keep house, and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord. Psalm 126, verse 5, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Psalm 132, verse 9, let thy priests be clothed with righteousness, and let thy saints shout for joy. Psalm 132, verse 16, I will also clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints shall shout aloud for joy. Psalm 137, verse 6, if I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth, if I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. Psalm 149, verse 2, let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. And lastly, Psalm 149, verse 5, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Now, as you heard these verses read, did you notice that in every circumstance, the believers are to be joyful? They are to rejoice in the work of God. They're to rejoice in the way they live, and they're to rejoice in their expressions. They're to sing psalms and praises to their God. They're to exalt God above their situation, above their circumstances, and rejoice even in sorrow, even in hardship, even in times of prosperity. The people of God are joyful. And so this is my question. Do you have the joy of the Lord in your life? If not, the joy of the Lord is your strength. If you find yourself in a weak point at this time of your life, this day, this season of your life, then go to God in prayer. Go to his word and say, God, you've promised that those that are your people should have joy. And this joy isn't something that we slavishly work for. This is something that you give us by virtue of our union with you. And so if you have gone cold in your walk with the Lord, if your love for the Lord has waned, then go to God in prayer. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you, and ask him to restore the joy of your salvation. And if that is the case, beloved, stay there. Keep growing. Keep pursuing the Lord as you ask for these things that he gives to you freely in his son, Jesus Christ. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope and pray that you were blessed and encouraged by this truth, and that the joy of the Lord is your strength. This is The Proverbial Life, a podcast where we encourage Christians to look to Christ, live wisely, and leave a legacy behind for generations to follow. Till next time, grace and peace. Look to Christ, live wisely.